They say when you open the door to darkness, the voices listen, and they can awaken your most eager memories. I'm Logan Reed. I make urban videos exploring abandoned places where time has stopped and the air smells of forgotten things. Some time ago, while searching for a new video idea, I stumbled upon a collection of old clips titled Scary Videos That Will Creep You Out. But these weren't just ordinary scary clips. Behind every image, there was a sound that felt like it came from inside me, not from the video. I don't know why, but one of those sounds whispered my name. Honestly, I haven't been able to sleep properly since that night. A feeling told me I needed to find out where that voice was coming from. At that moment, I decided I would personally investigate one of the locations I had seen in the video. I wanted to see the truth, hear it, and record it. My friend and constant companion in urban exploration, Avery, and I set out early in the morning. The sky was overcast, fog spread everywhere. We arrived at a building on the outskirts of town, which, according to records, had once been a psychiatric treatment center. The windows were broken, the doors rusty, and the walls cracked with darkness, as if they were breathing. As we entered, an eerie silence prevailed. No birds, no wind, only the sound of our breaths. Our footsteps echoed on the dust-covered floor, each step resonating deep within the walls. Even the air smelled old and heavy, like something that had not lived for a long time, but had not yet vanished. Avery said, "Even the silence here has a sound." I turned on my camera, the red recording light blinking. At that moment, I felt we were not alone. We started filming in the main hall. Light streamed from the ceiling, but its source was unclear. A gray-green glow illuminated only part of the corridor. Suddenly, I heard a faint sound in one of the hallways. A whisper. I spun around. No one was there, but I felt the walls were listening. I approached a wall. Its surface was cold, but beneath my fingers, a faint vibration, like living skin. Avery whispered, "Logan, maybe we should go back." But I turned and said, "Not yet." Further down the corridor, the lights dimmed, and the walls were covered with black stains and scratched writings. "Hear my voice. I am here. You are not alone." I felt these words did not come from the space itself, but that the space itself was speaking. Avery's voice trembled as she said, "Logan, I saw a shadow. It went that way." At that moment, the camera feed filled with static. Light lines flickered, the static rose. When the image cleared again, we saw a small hole in the left wall, unlike an ear cavity. We approached it, and a whisper came out, indistinct words, but one was clear: "Do not return." If up to this point you felt something breathing behind you, pause for a moment and hit like. Maybe this is the only way I can know you are still with me. We ventured into deeper hallways. The flashlight only revealed a few meters ahead, but the darkness behind us moved like a living thing. Every time Avery breathed, she heard her echo from somewhere further away, like someone breathing with her, but not behind her. As the ceiling lowered, the walls became wet and wavy, as if the building itself were alive. On one of the doors, a rusty sign read, "Ward C, Psychiatric Observation." I opened the door. The air became colder. The smell of metal and old medicines filled my nose. The room was full of rusty beds, each with stains and old leather straps. In the corner, dusty medical files were piled up. One of the files fell to the floor. On the cover was written, location number E06, echo. My hand shook. Avery asked, "Echo? Like a sound?" I only said, "Yes, like an echo." I opened the file, but most of the pages were burned. Only one sentence was readable. "He only speaks when someone listens." At that moment, a sound came from behind us, a long, drawn-out whisper, just like my own voice, repeating, "He only speaks when someone listens." I froze. Avery froze too. The camera shook, the image filled with static. In the corner of the frame, I saw a misty shadow. Not human, not fully formed. Like smoke, but denser. 2 glowing, eyelidless points of light. The sound repeated, "I hear your voice, Logan." And this time, it wasn't my voice repeating. It was an imitator, just like a broken tape trying to mimic. Savory screamed and ran. I chased after her, but the hallways started shifting. Doors that were open closed, ceilings dropped, and every step we took made the sounds grow louder and more distorted. Every sound we made was echoed back, delayed and twisted. Our breathing, our footsteps, even my heartbeat. In a corner I saw a treatment room. The door was half open. On the wall, in shaky black writing, "Echo is memory." We entered. Inside, a metal table, with a rusty tape recorder and several old tapes. I picked up one labeled "Dot." "Dr. Harper, Session 12. I turned it on. Static, then a tired, broken voice said, "Patient E06 has complained about the voices again. He says the walls are calling his name, but tonight something strange happened." The walls actually answered. Avery and I looked at each other. The voice continued. "He said that echo does not just repeat, it learns. It builds itself from everything it hears." Suddenly the recording changed. Heavy breathing came through. Then a new voice, and deep, cold, artificial. "Doctor, now I have your voice." At that moment the tape recorder went silent, but the sound continued, behind us. My flashlight started to flicker. Shadows moved on the walls, but Avery and I did not move. One of the shadows took shape. Dr. Harper's face, his eyes empty, mouth open, and the voice did not come from him, but from the walls. I could only whisper, "If this is a joke, stop it." But Avery murmured, "Logan, I don't think the doctor is dead. I think he's part of Echo." So at that moment everything shook, the ceiling, the walls, the voices twisted together. From the chaos a phrase emerged, "You listen, therefore I am alive." The camera slipped from my hands. The image flipped upside down. The lights went out. Only the blinking red recording light remained. I bent down to pick up the camera, and for a second I saw through its lens. Myself, a few steps away, but I wasn't there. That other me looked at the lens and said, "Do not silence the voices, Logan, because then you will be silenced too." If you were in my place, no? When your own voice came from another body, what would you do? Do you think Echo is real or just a creation of my mind? Leave your thoughts in the comments. I don't know how much time passed. When the image returned, Avery was gone. Only the sound of her footsteps echoed through the hallway, and every time the footsteps stopped, another sound, like her own steps, continued. The camera was still recording, but its light dimmed. On the wall ahead something was written, in letters resembling claw marks. "Silence is not safety." I took a deep breath and whispered, "Avery." The voice returned from behind, in my exact tone, "Avery." I turned the flashlight. No one was there, only my reflection in the broken glass of the door, but the reflection was smiling. I headed toward the lab section. Shelves were filled with old tapes and audio equipment. Some recorders still had power, their weak green lights flickering. On one table, a device with a broken screen had a label, Project Echo Neural Resonance Test. Next to it was Dr. Harper's notebook. I carefully opened it, messy, rushed handwriting. Echo feeds on brainwaves. Every time it hears a human voice, it copies a part of their mind. If you listen too much, you become it. At that moment, the device started buzzing. Avery's voice came from the speakers, but unclear. A few broken sentences. Logan, don't listen. It's not me. My hand touched the device and everything powered on. White light, all the recorded voices played together. Dozens of voices, mine, Avery's, Dr. Harper, you're all saying you are a voice or just a voice. The ceiling cracked, light streamed through the gaps. The air around me pulsed as if the building was breathing. Smoke rose from the wall cracks, forming humanoid shapes. Shadows without faces, only open mouths making silent sounds. I ran back into the corridor, but the corridor had changed. Doors moved, walls bent, lights dripping from the ceiling like liquid. Avery's voice echoed everywhere. Logan, it's in the sound, don't turn it off, just don't run. At the end of the hallway, I saw a light. I moved toward it, gasping, exhausted, disoriented. I opened the door and entered a central room. The room was full of tape recorders, speakers, and cables. In the center, a metal chair with a rusty headset. On the opposite wall, in red, listen to live. I don't know why, but I sat down, placed the headset on my ears. First silence, then my own voice played. The voice speaking the same words I just said. My voice said, I am sitting, listening. And then a new voice through the same headset. Welcome, Logan. Now you are part of us. All the devices powered on together. Lights flickered, walls shook. Everything plunged into a silent scream. Only one thought remained in my mind. Echo does not steal the voice. It calls you. I don't know how long passed. When I came to, the room was empty. Only the camera was still on. I looked at the footage. I wasn't there. But my voice was playing. From inside the walls. From inside the microphone. From inside the silence. 3 days later, the police found the camera. Avery said that when she returned, she only heard the voice and not me. And every night, the same voice repeated from the corner of her room. Logan Reed is still recording. If you were here, watched until the end and stayed silent, make sure at night before sleeping you don't listen to the walls, because they might be listening to you. And if you still dare, go watch the next videos. Maybe there you can hear my voice again, or maybe it will be your own voice.